Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Nian Honglin, and joining me today, Steve Hatherley. Hello, Steve.
Ni hao, I'm Steve. Thanks for having me back.
Really happy to have you back. And in the meantime, I feel like I should start a program named Observing Steve's Chinese Learning Process and just inviting you back generally a little bit,
Is that your way of asking me what I learned this time?
Yes. Was I subtle?
Yes.
Okay.
Lai.
What is that?
Come here or come in?
Yes.
Right?
Right?
Yeah. I was walking down the street and I was actually coming to the radio station and there was a man there who was walking with his infant child.
And that's why.
He was using the sidewalk as a chance to kind of teach the baby how to walk better, or come to me, come to me. And he kept saying in a very kind of different kind of way, he's like, lai, lai. And then so I asked, what does lai mean? And it means come here.
Yes, but please do not use it in your everyday scenario because it's a little,
Yeah, please explain.
Because there's a little bit of baby talk and a little bit of the kid might be just learning how to speak. So the dad is simplifying everything for the kid. So 来 actually means come and 过来, come here. But that is a very direct, almost impolite way of saying come over here.
Like a command.
Yes, exactly. And if you say 能过来一下吗? Would you please come here a bit? So we know that 一下 is a little bit or once or just tiny little. That is used to soften the tone. It's like I'm not giving you an order. I'm just saying, would you please come here a little bit, like come over a little bit. So it's soften the tone. But 来 in itself means come. And if you're talking to a kid, you're saying 来. Come. Because you're trying to teach the kid how to pronounce the character 来, the word 来.
Question.
Yes.
If someone delivers something to my house and I want to ask them, please come in, like bring the thing inside and maybe put it down wherever.
I'm going to surprise you.
I want to say to them, come in, please. So would I say 来?
No, you would say 请进.
请进.
Yes, it has nothing to do with 来, right? Okay, so you actually can say 进来. So 进 carries the meaning of enter. And 来 is to your direction. So 去 is go somewhere. 来 is come. So 来 is the action that's towards you. You're inviting them to your direction, to the speaker's direction. So
进来.
进来. So 进 is coming in or enter. And 来 is enter the door and walk to me. It's kind of like that.
Okay.
But 进来 is also a bit too direct and too like an order or command. So
请进来?
Yes, 请进来 would be good because 请 we know is please. And we add that character in front of a lot of different Chinese verbs to show please, to show you're polite. So 请进来, please come in, or 请进, please enter my house.
Do you want to hear a cute side story?
Yes.
I hear, when you're saying please or thank you in Chinese, you hear thank you and you're welcome all the time, right? Like 谢谢,
yes.
不客气. But because those words are new for me, and they're not difficult to understand, it's just that I hear them both all the time. And it still hasn't registered, like it hasn't rooted in my brain yet. Like I hear it and I know what it means. So sometimes I get confused. So I was on the first floor the other day and someone held the door for me and I meant to say 谢谢. But he held the door for me and I said 不客气.
I'm pretty sure he understands.
Like, what an honor for you to hold the door for me. I said, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness, so silly. But, mistakes like that will happen when you're trying to get used to the language. Back to the front door situation where I want to invite somebody in. So if I said 来, that's the equivalent of me saying to the delivery man, come on,
Yes.
Come on in.
Yes.
Like I'm
That's
talking
little
to a puppy.
weird.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
请进来.
Perfect.
Okay.
Please come in.
Please come in. Thank you.
And that is Steve's progress of Chinese learning for today's episode or before today's episode.
Yes.
And for those of you who are listening to the show, if you're interested in Chinese culture and you want to get a grip on the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway. So for today's takeaway Chinese, the words and expressions we're taking away are actually related to something that echoes the weather that we're experiencing during our recording. Because, there are hot days and cold days. But now, currently, while we're doing the recording, Beijing is welcoming some really, really cold days.
See, I disagree. It's not that bad.
It's not bad?
Well, remember,
it's only because you're from Canada and you're used to cold and you have higher threshold.
It's true, but we're in fall right now, and I'm starting to get the feeling that fall in Beijing, autumn, is a little bit shorter.
It is.
Than perhaps winter and summer are, which probably means spring is shorter as well. But I guess I'll figure that out when I get there. But no, these temperatures, it's warm in the daytime when the sun is shining. It's a little cold in the morning, but nothing too unbearable. And then at night, well, admittedly, at night, it's starting to get a little bit colder, but it's nothing from what I understand compared to what we will be experiencing in a month or two.
That's true. So let's use this episode as a preparation for the really cold winter days. So by that time, after listening to the show, you get to practice the words a little bit so that when winter actually comes, you know how to express the feeling of, oh, I am frozen.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so the very simple and very basic one would be 冷.
冷.
Yes, that is a third tone and it means cold.
Okay, third tone meaning down and up.
Down and up.
Okay, so 冷.
冷. And that is cold. And there is another one because you talked a little bit about autumn not being that bad. Actually, another word that can also be translated as cold is 凉.
凉.
Yes. So you can understand it this way. 凉 is hotter or warmer than 冷. That is why we have words like 凉爽. So 凉 is like it's a little bit cool, and 爽 is the kind of feeling you have if in a really hot summer day you have a sip of cold soda and you're like, and that's 爽.
Okay.
So your pores are opening a little bit in a good way.
Okay.
That's 爽. So 凉爽 would be cool and nice.
So 凉 is less cold than 冷. Okay.
Most occasions.
Okay, got it. So then 冷 would refer to cold, meaning an uncomfortable, I want to wear more, like I'm feeling, I don't like this.
Yes.
Okay. Whereas 凉 could be the equivalent of the English, maybe chilly?
Chilly, yeah.
Or brisk, perhaps?
Yeah. It's already a little bit cold. And for some people, maybe 凉 is already cold, but it can also be talking about the kind of cold, like you said, brisk or cool.
Got it.
Yeah, kind of cold.
Okay.
So that's these two. And of course, in English, we say, I feel it's freezing.
Yes.
In Chinese, we say that too. We say 冻.
冻.
冻. 冻 means precisely freeze.
Oh, okay.
And mostly people would say, for example, 我觉得我冻僵了. 我, that's I.
Yep.
冻. It's like I am freezing. 僵 is like it's a little bit numbing. I cannot feel my fingers.
Oh,
or...
so 凉 means chilly or brisk, whereas 僵 means freezing to the point of you're numb.
Yes.
Okay.
But you have to put them together. It has to be 冻僵了. If you're precisely just 僵了, then it may be because you're sitting on your hand for too long.
Okay, I got it. Got it. So 冻僵了.
冻僵了. It's so cold that I feel like I'm a little bit stiff.
Frozen solid. We
Frozen
say.
solid.
Yeah.
That's what you say in English?
In English, yeah,
I've never heard of it.
I am frozen solid.
That is a perfect translation. So 冻僵了. And le at the end of the expression shows that the state is complete. So you're already there. Cannot move too much.
Got it. That's a really useful expression for when the weather gets cold.
Yes, 冻僵了.
You can use this. Now, do I have to be outside in frigid temperatures to use this expression? Or if I'm sitting on the sofa at home and I'm just feeling a little bit
you can
cold,
use it.
But I can still say, oh, 冻僵了.
Yes, you can say that. 冻僵了.
Got it.
And we know that Chinese is the language with a lot of interesting expressions, including some idioms. And when it comes to idioms, mostly we're talking about the 成语, the 4-character idioms. For these idioms, they can sometimes be very literal, or sometimes paint a vivid picture with words, or sometimes be a little bit extreme or extravagant, or
like over-expressing
exactly
to show your feeling.
Yes. That is why for winter days, for example, we would sometimes describe the weather as 天寒地冻.
天寒地冻.
Yes. 天 is the sky or the heaven. 地 is the earth. And 寒冷 寒 is another way of saying cold, but it's relatively a official way or a written language way. You can say 天气很寒冷. 天气 weather 很 very 寒冷 cold, but in daily life we do not say 今天天很寒. People might understand you, but it's just not what we say. We would say 今天天很冷. The day, the weather is cold. 天很冷. So 寒, we know that's also cold. And 冻, we've already talked about 冻僵了. So 冻 meaning freezing. It's really cold. So 天寒地冻, it's like saying it's really, really cold. The sky is cold. The earth is cold. Everything is cold. And it's just, cold.
It's cold. It's just cold.
It's just cold.
Up is cold. Down is cold. Left and right are cold as
yes.
well. 天寒地冻.
天寒地冻. And also, the 地, the solid land, it's not just cold, it's freezing.
Yeah, I understand. So this is just another expression, another way to express how cold it is outside.
Yes.
But the difference between 冻僵了 and 天寒地冻 is the first expression is about me, how
yes.
I'm feeling. The second expression, 天寒地冻, is about the conditions outside.
The environment, yes.
Got it.
And also, if you are talking about really extremely cold weather, again, also the outside, there is another Chinese idiom you can use, 滴水成冰.
滴水成冰.
So 滴 means drop or drizzle. 水 is water. 成 means become.
And Bing is ice.
Ice. Yes, you know Bing.
Yes.
So it's like if there is a tap with water drops, the water drop would turn to ice the moment it falls.
Okay, got it. So again, that's the literal meaning of this expression. But the everyday use is simply a way to show how
cold the environment and condition is. So the thing about using Chinese idioms is a bit tricky. You have to learn by remembering each and every example mostly, because a lot of the Chinese idioms are used independently. For example, if I am a primary school student and I am writing an article, I would say 冬天来了. The winter is coming. 天寒地冻. It's really cold. Everywhere is cold. 妈妈让我多穿点衣服. My mom asks me to wear more. See, when I'm saying 天寒地冻, I'm using it independently in the sentence. You can also say, for example, 北京的冬天天寒地冻. The winter in Beijing is really, really cold, using the 天寒地冻 as a way to describe how cold it is.
Okay.
So there are different ways to use different idioms.
Yeah, I understand. So the idiom can be used personally as a way to kind of overexpress how cold you are or how cold you think it feels outside. But when you're actually speaking literally, almost like a news reporter talking about the weather in Beijing, then you can use this expression in there as well.
Yes.
But in that case, it becomes more real.
Yes, but it's like you're exaggerating it, but everyone knows you're exaggerating it, so it's not used in an exaggerating way.
Got it.
And I'm not really sure because you've only been here in China not too long, for several months, and you haven't experienced a lot of different type of cold in different places.
I've been warned. I'm a little bit nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's fine. Beijing's cold is actually acceptable. Because my feeling is that, again, we talked about China being a huge, huge country. You personally talked about 中国很大. China is huge. And because it's huge, the land is vast, and different places actually enjoys a little bit different like sub-temperature or the climate situation can be a bit different for different places. So in general, we would describe the country based on the northern part of the country and the southern part of the country. And the southern part is famous for its cold and wet weather.
Okay.
So in the northern part, it's kind of dry. So yes, the wind is cold. The outside, sometimes it feels like the sun shining is not even warm in certain occasions. And sometimes we say 寒风刺骨. So 寒 is cold, 风 is the wind, 刺 is like prick or stick, 骨 is the bone. So it feels like the wind is so cold, and when it blows at me, it's like thousands of needles sticking or pricking at me. And also, it's not only to my skin, it's to my bones. It's really, really cold.
Yeah.
Yet, in southern part of the country, the overall temperature is a bit higher than the northern part.
In the wintertime?
In the wintertime. Yet, it's because it's very moist, it's really wet, and it feels like your clothes can be a bit less dry
Damp.
after you are in the outside area for a while. So the kind of cold is surrounding you and immersing you and attacking you like magic or like moist. And that's why some people would describe the kind of cold in northern part of the country as 物理攻击. So 物理 is like physical. It's physical attack. It's like you're playing a video game. The physical attack would be the attack you see people attacking you with a knife or even with a gun or with a sword. Again, playing video games. And 魔法攻击, that's the magic attack. That would be a wizard casting a spell on you and certain mist suddenly appear around you and starting to eating you alive, but subtly.
It's just a different kind of cold, but still cold nonetheless.
Yeah. I was wondering, you've been to different places traveling around. What kind of cold do you hate the most?
Where I'm from, in Nova Scotia, where I went to university, Halifax, it's the capital of the province, and it's next to the Atlantic Ocean. It's literally on the Atlantic Ocean. So in the summertime, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But in the wintertime, the wind coming off of the ocean is sometimes so strong that you have to lean into the wind so that you can continue to walk without it blowing you over. That's not every day, but on the extreme days, it's like that. And on those extreme days, when it is that windy, it feels like it doesn't matter what you wear. Because we have an expression in English similar to the one about the stick kind of like pins and needles. We say the wind is so strong it cuts right through you like a knife.
Yes.
Yeah. So that wind is so strong that it goes through all of your clothing. It doesn't matter how many layers you're wearing.
Yes, we have that too. Actually, of course, the more elegant and sophisticated way would be 寒风刺骨, cold wind, like needles sticking through your bones. But in colloquial Chinese, we say 这个风要把我吹透了. So 吹 is blow, 透 is like cut right through. It's like you feel like you're transparent.
Yes.
Or it feels like you're full of different holes
Yes.
and the wind just go right through.
And that's the kind of cold I don't like. If there's no wind and it's cold, then okay. You know, when you can see your breath, I'm used to that. But when the wind cuts through you, I don't like that at all.
Let's see, how do you react to 魔法攻击, the magic attack in the
Yes.
southern part of China a bit later. If you have the chance, I would highly recommend you to visit these southern parts of the country. It's beautiful, it's fun, it's cold, and you can experience that cold.
Look forward to it.
And you're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niu Hongli, and Steve Hatherley. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, let's talk a little more about how weather is affecting biodiversity. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin, joined by Steve. So today, the reason we're talking about biodiversity is because COP16, which begins on 21st of October, is going to be around for around 2 weeks. And we see government experts, environmental activists, and indigenous groups tackle pressing global challenges in biodiversity protection, are attending the event, talking to each other, figuring out best ways and methods and policies that can be implemented in different parts of the world so that we can have better environment, not only for ourselves, but for all different type of creature in the planet.
Really important meeting to have.
Yes, and one thing that I didn't used to know quite so much about is that extreme weather, climate change, actually has an effect on biodiversity as well, quite so much. So it's kind of like understanding the world in the perspective of a traditional Chinese medical physician. That is, instead of treating one problem, we see the entire world as a whole and using a holistic approach to deal with everything. Because, yes, we are looking at more and more extreme weather disasters. And also when it comes to climate change, many people say that they've experienced really hot summers and sometimes both a not cold enough winter and a very cold winter can be bad signs.
Yeah. So at a conference like this, they're talking about things like protection and restoration and probably pollution management. And again, dealing with illegal wildlife trade. And it's kind of all bunched together. Within a 1 or 2 week period. And they deal with all of those issues. Yeah, really interesting. And always curious to see what comes out of these types of conferences.
Definitely.
As well, what decisions are made.
Yes. And in the meantime, I was wondering, do you know how would extreme weathers or climate change would affect biodiversity?
How climate change would affect biodiversity.
There are different areas or different aspects. For example, one is that climate change can alter fragile ecosystems, leading to the local extinction of some species, which will in turn change the entire local small ecosystem for other species and other creatures as well.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one thing.
Yeah. Also, if weather patterns changed where, for example, certain species live or have existed due to the climate or the temperatures, but if the temperatures change or ocean temperatures change, then those species would be forced to maybe not become extinct, but would be forced to move to areas where those temperatures were still friendly for their existence.
Definitely. And that in turn would also affect their relationship with some other local species. For example, if we're talking about a particular mountain flower, depending on a specific insect for pollination, and if the flower blooms while the insect is still in hibernation, it will miss the opportunity, the period for the pollination.
Right.
And that is due to the change of weather, the change of temperature. So these things are really, really closely intertwined. And sometimes I feel like animals and plantations, they are quote unquote smart in their own way. After thousands of years of evolution, they have found out the perfect timing to do things.
Yes.
And they know how to interact with things and trees and grass and insects around
wind
them.
And the sun and the rain, and they know exactly. Yeah, it's human beings that come along
I know.
and mess it up for them.
We are ruining things for them. And one last thing is actually there is the possibility of loss of genetic diversity. Even if a species survives, populations adapted to a specific cold environments may decline due to change of temperature, due to climate change. And this leads to the loss of genetic diversity, which is essential for long-term adaptability and survival. So we see that actually climate change has a lot to do or has a lot of effect on biodiversity and protection of biodiversity.
It certainly does. And that's why it's important that we do what we can to reduce our own carbon footprint, not only as individuals, but governments need to be making policies that head in that direction as well, because we share this planet with the animals and all the birds and bugs and bees that live here. And we depend on them for our own well-being as well.
Yes. Actually, I have been to Yunnan province, personally, and I've been to the Rainforest Natural Reserve area. It was really beautiful, and I was told not to mess with anything.
Yeah.
And I also was taught a lot of different knowledge about the plantation, about the animals there. And that's why when I say China is rich in biodiversity, actually have felt it. I'm feeling it every day. And
You've seen it.
I've seen it. And the Chinese government has firmly established and practiced the concept of that lucid waters and lush mountains. It might sound a little bit strange in English or a little bit unfamiliar in English, yet in Chinese we call it 绿水青山. So 绿 is green, 水 is water, 青 is also green, but it's like a little bit darker blue-green green. Shan is mountain. So it's like saying the water is green, the mountain is green, darker green, tree green, and the entire environment is beautiful. It's natural, it's preserved well. And we say 绿水青山就是金山银山. Lucid waters and lush mountains are invaluable assets. So they're very important. And that is also the reason that the country has entire system, entire slews of plans and regulations and laws protecting the environment, making sure that carbon emission is limited in different ways. And also definitely biodiversity is protected and ecological protection is there in all different systems, in all different industries.
That's why, again, these meetings are really important. And it's good to know that these meetings are taking place and all of these groups are represented there, because everybody will have their own initiatives, their own prerogatives, and to hear people's different ideas about what they need for the areas where they're from, that's how we can make policies that are best representing everyone.
Yes, and think about it. We live on the earth together. If one place is not protected and everyone is using all of the resources, it definitely will affect other areas, other countries as well.
That will snowball quickly.
Definitely. So a holistic approach, having everybody sitting together, talking about the issue, and having different countries come up with their own best plans is actually the best method to a healthier and happier and more beautiful, in a sophisticated way, beautiful Earth.
Well said.
And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Miao Honglin with Steve here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can also listen to the show and read the script there. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. Don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and a 5-star rating. 感谢收听，我们下次再见。
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening.